Hello everyone, welcome to Absolute Geography. Here we take your geography understanding from classroom to continents. In today's video, we are going to discuss the northern plains of India in detail, their formation, relief features, regional divisions and significance. After the collision of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate and the formation of the Himalayas, a large depression was formed to the south of the newly uplifted mountains. This depression is known as a foredeep. The rivers descending from the Himalayas, along with their tributaries, continuously carried enormous quantities of sediments such as sand, silt, and clay from the mountains and deposited them in this depression. Then, over millions of years, this repeated deposition gradually filled the foredeep and gave rise to what we now call the northern plains or the Indo-Ganga Brahmaputra Plains. These plains have mainly formed by the depositional work of the river Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra and their tributaries. Even today, the process of deposition continues. In some places, the thickness of alluvial deposits is estimated to be nearly 2000 meters. The northern plains extend for nearly 2400 kilometers in west to east direction. These plains run parallel to the Himalayas and spread across Pakistan, India and Bangladesh. Their width, although varies considerably from region to region, generally it ranges between 150 to 300 kilometers. However, the plains become narrow in Assam, where the width reduces to nearly about 90 to 100 kilometers. Although the northern plains appear flat and featureless at a first glance, they actually show considerable variations in relief and surface features. And based on these variations in relief, the plains are divided into four major divisions: Bhabar, Tarai, Bhangar and Khadar. And apart from these, there are also certain important local relief features such as Bhur, Barind and Barchans. Starting with Bhabar, it is a narrow belt lying along the foothills of the Shivalik range, extending from the Indus to the Teesta river. Its width generally varies between 8 and 16 kilometers. This region is characterized by deposits of pebbles, rocks and boulders brought down by the rivers descending from the Himalayas. And because these deposits are coarse and highly porous, the streams often disappear from the surface and continue to flow underground. As a result, the surface remains comparatively dry and the region is not very suitable for agriculture. To the south of the Bhabar lies the Tarai region, which runs parallel to it. In this region, the underground streams of the Bhabar re-emerge on the surface. This leads to the accumulation of water and creates wet, marshy and swampy conditions. The alluvium deposited here is much finer than that found in the Bhabar region. The Tarai belt is about 20 to 30 kilometers wide and was once covered with dense forest and rich wildlife. However, much of this land has now been reclaimed for agriculture. On the eastern side of the Teesta river, the Tarai region is known as Doabs. We already know Dwar means gateway, and this region forms the gateway between Bhutan and the plains of India. That is why this area here is known as Doabs. Moving on to Bhangar, it refers to the older alluvial deposits of the northern plains. It is found on slightly elevated uplands above the floodplains. A floodplain is a low-lying area along a river that gets flooded during the rainy season and receives fresh deposit of sediments almost every year. Now, since this Bhangar region lies above the floodplains, It does not receive fresh alluvial deposits regularly. Therefore, the soil here is older and often contains calcareous nodules known as kankar. Because the soil is old and not renewed frequently by fresh deposits, it is less fertile compared to Khadar. Now, what is Khadar? Khadar refers to the newer alluvial deposits found in the floodplains of the rivers. During floods, rivers deposit fresh layers of fine silt over these low-lying areas almost every year. As a result, the soil remains extremely fertile and is ideal for intensive agriculture. Thus, compared to Bhangar, Khadar is new, more fertile and agriculturally more productive. Apart from these major divisions, there are certain important local relief features found in the northern plains. One such feature is Bhur. It refers to sandy deposits found mainly in the Ganga-Yamuna Doab. A Doab is a land lying between two rivers. These sandy deposits are largely wind-blown or aeolian in origin. That means the sand has been deposited through the action of wind, giving the soil a loose and porous texture. As a result, Bhur areas are less fertile and comparatively less suitable for intensive agriculture. In the upper parts of Ganga Plain, Bhur deposits form slightly raised sandy areas with an uneven surface, like in a desert. Another important local feature is the Barind region. Barind is an upland tract of old alluvium found mainly in parts of West Bengal and Bangladesh. This region is slightly elevated above the surrounding plains and is composed of older and relatively harder alluvial deposits. Since the Barind region is raised above the nearby floodplains, it is not flooded easily. However, the lower surrounding areas often experience floods. The soil here is comparatively less fertile and the region contains patches of scrub vegetation and degraded forest in some areas. Lastly, in the Rajasthan desert, crescent-shaped sand dunes known as Barchans are commonly found. These dunes are formed due to the action of wind and usually develop in areas with limited vegetation and strong, constant winds. The steep side of the dune faces away from the wind, while the two pointed ends, called the horns of the dunes, point in the direction of the wind movement. Barchans are especially common in the Barmer-Jaisalmer region of Rajasthan. Now, based on variations in river systems, relief and drainage patterns, the northern plains are broadly divided into 4 regional divisions. Starting from the western side, we have the Rajasthan Plains, also known as the Great Indian Desert. This region lies mainly between the Aravalli Range in the east and the Indus Plains in the west, and most of this desert region lies in Rajasthan. It is a lowland plain consisting mainly of sand, sandy ridges and sand dunes. The height of the sand dunes varies greatly. In some areas it may rise beyond 100 meters, while some dunes may even extend for several kilometers in length. The region receives very little rainfall, usually less than 25 centimeters annually. That is what is creating a desert here. As a result, vegetation is sparse and drainage is very poorly developed. Most streams here are seasonal. The Luni River is the most important river in this region. North of the Luni Basin, inland drainage is common and several saline lakes are found here, such as Sambhar and Didwana. These saline lakes are important source of common salt and other minerals. Moving eastward, we come to Punjab-Haryana Plain. This plain has been formed by the deposition of alluvium brought down by five major rivers: the Satluj, Beas, Ravi, Chenab, and Jhelum. The word Punjab literally means land of five rivers. Panj meaning five and Ab means water. The Punjab Plain is divided into several Doabs, that is regions lying between two rivers. From east to west, the important Doabs are Bist Jalandhar Doab between Beas and Satluj River. The name of the Doab is taken from the rivers itself. Bist, B-I from Beas, S-T from Satluj. Likewise, we have Bari Doab between Beas and Ravi River, Rachna Doab between Ravi and Chenab River, Chhaj Doab between Chenab and Jhelum River, and then we have Sindh Sagar Doab between Jhelum Chenab system and Indus River. Sindh means Indus. You may notice that many of these rivers and Doabs are now located in Pakistan. That is because the term Punjab originally referred to the larger undivided Punjab region before partition. The rivers have dissected the alluvial deposits and formed broad floodplains of Khadar, flanked by slightly elevated bluffs known as dhaya. The Khadar belt, also known as wetlands, is highly fertile though prone to flooding. The northern part adjoining to the Shivalik hills has been deeply eroded by seasonal streams known as chos, leading to extensive gully erosion, especially in parts of Punjab. Further east lies the Ganga Plain, extending across Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. Its deltaic portion extends into Bangladesh. This plain has been formed by the depositional work of the Ganga and its tributaries such as Yamuna, Ghagra, Gandak, and Kosi. Rivers originating from peninsular plateau such as Chambal, Betwa, Ken, and Son have also contributed to its formation. The plain generally slopes towards east and southeast, although local variations in slope are present. Based on geographical variations, the Ganga Plain is further divided into upper, middle, and lower Ganga Plains. The upper Ganga Plain mainly includes the Ganga-Yamuna Doab. Here, the alluvial deposits are extremely thick, ranging between 1000 to 2000 meters. The old alluvium forms the Bhangar uplands, while the newer alluviums form the low-lying Khadar plains. The slope between these uplands and lowlands are locally known as khols. The middle Ganga Plain forms a transition zone between upper and lower Ganga Plains and extends across eastern Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The lower Ganga Plain lies mainly in West Bengal and Bangladesh, where a large part of this region is occupied by the Ganga-Brahmaputra Delta. Finally, we have the Brahmaputra Plain, also known as the Assam Plain. Its width generally varies between 90 and 100 kilometers. The plain has been formed by the depositional work of the Brahmaputra River and its tributaries. Due to the enormous volume of water and sediments carried by the Brahmaputra River, floods occur frequently in this region. However, these floods also help in maintaining the fertility of the soil through fresh alluvium deposits. The northern plains are of immense importance to India, both physically and economically. One of the main reasons is their fertile alluvial soil, which supports intensive agriculture. Crops such as wheat, rice, sugarcane, and jute are widely cultivated here. The flat and level surface of the plains makes them ideal for development of roads, railways, and communication networks. This region is also densely populated because it provides favorable conditions for settlement, including fertile soil and abundant water supply. As a result, many important towns and cities have developed in these plains, making them major centers of economic, industrial, and cultural activities. Thus, the northern plains form the backbone of Indian agriculture and support a large proportion of the country's population. So, these were the northern plains of India, which, despite appearing uniform, show significant regional variations in relief, drainage, and soil characteristics. In the next video, we will move towards the ancient peninsular plateau of India, one of the oldest and most stable landmasses of the country.